Good morning, YouTubers. It's about 7 a.m. on the 13th of April, and I just came home after picking my son up from work, and we swung by. He bought me breakfast at Sonic. Sonic's a great place. I've said this a million times. I'll keep saying it. If you're not into all that breakfast foodie, and you want some real food from in the early 6 a.m. in the morning, Sonic is your place to go. But this is some real YouTuber talk, guys. I'm still in my favorite Christmas pajamas that my wonderful, crafty, beautiful, talented wife made. We all have matching sets. And I like to wear these often to sleep in. And I want to share some real YouTuber talk again with y'all, guys. Y'all seem to like the last talk we did, and I'm not going to be driving today, so we're just going to sit and chill in the car and just chit-chat, if we will. I intended on doing these type of updates, these talks and shares with y'all, since the Brainstorm Challenges is finally monetized, and I want to, this particular sit-down chat will be about my first week as a monetized YouTuber. My thoughts, impressions, and what I feel I've learned in this short time as a monetized YouTuber. I know that there's a lot of channels, a lot of friends, a lot of content creators out there who are in similar positions, and I'm no expert. I am not an expert. I can only speak to my own experiences, my own thoughts and feelings, and things that I've learned so far. I'm certainly probably going to say some things that are people are going to just shake their head at and think that I'm totally missing the point or whatever, or totally wrong. So don't take this as gospel advice on how to be doing it when you're monetized. I don't know. I'm just stumbling around and learning as I go. Don't we all? That's the best way to learn, guys. It's on the job training. But I feel like if I was in a position where I was looking and wondering with questions, and if you have any questions about what it's like that first week of monetization, drop them in the comments below. I'll be glad to answer them in a future video, or I'll also respond to your comments, hopefully. I'm just a small time, happy time, go time. Let's have fun and share those experiences type of YouTuber. Just a big, round, fluffy talking machine. I'm a little bit sleepy and weary this morning, so forgive me if the energy level is not like up to par. But I'm hoping I can be articulate and a little bit informative, as well as just chit-chat with y'all. I intended on really coalescing these thoughts into some kind of form on paper and actually have notes to refer to. But I feel like I do best when I'm just shooting from the hip and just thinking and sharing with y'all as we go. So in these talks, in these real YouTuber talks, now this is not expert advice. As I said, this is not your best practices, your 10 tips to get 1,000 subscribers, your optimal way to get 4,000 watch hours and be monetized to make the most money that you can and advertising and whatnot. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm just a big old fluffy, furry talking machine who's finally, after 3 years, achieved the monetization on the YouTube channel. And I've done so, y'all. If y'all followed my content, if you've liked my content, you know that I'm not averse to sharing my experiences and sharing my journey with y'all, because that's what it's part of 50-50 for me. Have fun and share that fun with everyone. So, if you haven't already done so, give me a big smash that like button. Get me a subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Make my day. Make that red button gray and subscribe to my channel, because whether you're a new watcher or you're a returning watcher and you're looking at this content, make sure you do all those awesome things that support this channel. It really does mean a lot to me. And you know what to think about. So you work so hard. Like, I thought about it. You know, I've mentioned these things before, and sometimes I might repeat myself, but I think some of these important points bear repeating. That as a YouTuber, everybody's on their own individual journey. No experiences are the same. No channels, no niches, no person, no videos, no content creator, no content is the same. So everything is all in relative proportion to what your experiences are. My experiences and what worked for me may not work for you. Your experiences are about to be solely different. For the mere fact that there are YouTubers who get thousands upon thousands of views. They're awesome YouTubers. They get 20,000 views in videos, but they only have 600 subscribers. I see that all the time. They really make great content, but they don't have that many subscribers. They have not achieved monetization because but they have successful, niches, or they have successful, whatever they're doing, but they haven't succeeded yet. They're successful, but they haven't succeeded yet. If that's their goal, not everybody, I guess, wants to get monetized. But I don't know. Really, I don't know. You're probably lying to yourself if you say that. As a YouTube content creator, everybody sometimes has money signs in their eyes when they think about being a YouTuber, that they're going to be famous and they're going to get rich. And I don't think that's the case for a large part of the community. There are lots and loads throughout the whole world of people who are monetized, or people who are YouTubers. And YouTube, it's a mega money-making giant. They make that dough, guys. And so, again, forgive me if I get some of the things wrong, but I'm just wanting to share from my experiences of this last week as a YouTuber. So the channel finally got monetized last Tuesday. Ad revenue opens up on your studio. You can see that in potential ad revenue, which is usually about 2 days delayed, obviously, just like most things in YouTube. So you got to wait a couple days in before you actually start seeing ad revenue. And it posts at weird times. It seems like, much like your watch hours, sometimes will update at midnight-ish every night. That's what it seemed like the ad revenue would do as well. Click over around midnight, 1 a.m. and update. But you would get that particular 2-day removal of whatever videos you posted, content you posted that day, 2 days removed, would be how much you made in the ad revenue area. So the first day I made over $2. That's the real part of YouTube. Now, you have ideas of what you can do or what you might not do when you're finally monetized. And the reality is you don't make a whole lot of money unless you're some super channel and some ready to go audience. That YouTuber, like I discussed, that already has a huge desirability and niche following, but maybe they haven't achieved the subscriber count yet. Or like I was, and like a lot of us are, we might eventually get to the subscriber count, not too bad amount of time, but then we're lacking in the watch hours, which can be really frustrating, I know. So, no expectations. You really, when you're looking into this and you're hearing other people talk and share like this about their experiences, about all the fancy professional top 10 tips and things like that, this is just real YouTuber talk, guys. And it's not my top 10 tips. It's not my best advice to become a famous YouTuber or whatever. No, this is just what I've experienced, again. And maybe you found some insight and some appreciation into that. Maybe you don't. Let me know either way. That's fine. Because whether you're laughing with me, guys, right, or whether you're laughing at me, at least you're laughing. Because laughter indeed is the best medicine. And whether you're successful or not, if you're doing this for fun and you're sharing those experiences, that's a victory right there, guys. That is. It's a super victory. So just if you want to be a YouTuber, be a YouTuber. Just do it. Don't worry about being perfect. Don't worry about the perfect software. Don't worry about the perfect video equipment and the perfect niche and the perfect idea. Just let it go and find your flow. It'll happen. It really will. Everything's not for everybody. Food challenges and subscriber shopping and all the things that I do are kind of like all over the place. Everybody's not going to do the same thing. You got to be you, guys. That's first and foremost. It's like when you're a wrestler. If you're not playing some part of you, it's not going to come across as genuine. You're not going to come across as someone who knows what they're doing or having any type of fun doing it. If you force yourself, it's going to be work, and work is work. And YouTube is work. Don't get me wrong. If you're doing it, you've done it, or you don't know, let me tell you, YouTube is work. It might be fun. It might be exciting at times. It might be the thing that gets you up in the mornings and keeps you going all day, but it is definitely work. You got to know that. And just because you reach that monetization mountain does not mean you get the top of that mountain, you're going to see the higher peak above the clouds, because it does not slow down. You cannot slow down once you get monetized, because you realize that if you want to make any money doing this, you still got to put out that content. I would love to get to a point where I'm just posting every other day, or at least every other day, or maybe 3 times a week, and maybe a couple of shorts here and there. I would love to get to that point. But I've gotten to a flow, into a routine, in the way that ideas are still flowing, opportunities are still coming towards me. I'm getting used to the idea of, okay, using every single opportunity I have to make content, to either bank it in the library, in the archives, to have something to fall back on if I need to, some evergreen content. And that's a term you might not have heard, or may have heard. Evergreen content on YouTube is content that's not dated, that's not specific to a time frame. Something like evergreen content is something like content people can watch at any point in time throughout the year that would still be good and interesting and valid. Won't be pinned to a certain holiday, or pinned to a certain thing that's only like the Super Bowl, a certain, something that's one time. That content still might be watched and loved and all that too, but evergreen content is more popular on YouTube. So I try to keep all that stuff in mind when I'm making content, and I try to keep, really 6 to 7, 8, 10, 9 things in the back burner, either ready to edit, or already edited and in the cache, ready to drop at the hot notice. I'd like to get to a point where I didn't feel like I had to, but in a way, I've also evolved to a point where I feel like I don't have to. I want to, especially now as a monetized YouTuber. I want to still post every day, because I still get that excitement. It's like when you get a new job that you've been looking forward to, or like when you're taking a class in school, in college, that you really want to take, and it's like that book series, you want to get to the next book. Every day I want to post. I get a little bit of that high as a YouTuber, this new content, the potential out there, and I want to say, I want to be all, the money doesn't matter, the recognition and the kudos don't matter, the views don't matter. They still matter. They really do. If you're being honest with yourself as a YouTuber, they matter, of course. Sure, I'd like to have that one video that takes the skyrocket and viral me up to platitudes heretofore unknown. Sure, I would like that. Sure, I'd like to be shouted out by some mega YouTuber who recognizes that I have some good content that they liked, and that would help stratify me as well. There's so many fickle things about YouTube, because it really, that's the exciting part to me. Having a brand new piece of content that, first and foremost, that I enjoyed making. And if I enjoy making it, and I enjoyed editing it, and I feel confident in it, and I like it myself, first and foremost, because I'm my own worst critic and my own best fan, as you should be. You should always like your own comments, guys. You should always watch and like and heart your own comments and your own videos. You can't ask others to do that if you're not willing to do that for yourself. Because if you don't like what you're doing, why are you doing it? So I'd like to be that guy who can just post once a week and a couple of shorts every now and then. But I have to be real. I'm not there. in emotionally, or because I need a little bit of that addiction, so to speak. I like producing content every day. If I even on Sunday, I have to kind of force myself to take that time off, to take that Lord's Day off, and that may be a little bit corny to some people, but that's just the way I feel. I want to make myself take one day off from posting new content anyway. But how does that work? As a monetized YouTuber, I feel like I get that high, that excitement in posting content because that raw potential of people liking it, watching it, commenting on it, and it may be the same awesome group. And y'all are awesome, guys. You don't get me wrong. Y'all are so awesome. I wouldn't trade y'all for anything. But it may be that same half a dozen group of people who watch my content regularly, who regularly comment on it. I look forward to that. Sure, I'd like dozens and dozens more to watch it and comment on it and share on it. I'd love that. Who doesn't love that? Wouldn't love that recognition and that feeling. But I look forward to the interaction and the commentary. That's why I like premieres, because I can put something out there that I've put ahead of time that might not come out in a couple of days, that you could see ahead of time and kind of like build that promotional anticipation for. I like premieres. They do, kind of tend to take away when you do a premiere of a video of the comments that you might get organically if you don't premiere something. But I do think that finding your time frame when your particular audience is watching the most, and YouTube will give you some suggestions in that if you want to take their advice or not. But posting regularly, if you post regularly, or even once or twice a week, post at the same time, so that you can be have a routine, yes, for yourself, but also have something that your audience can count on. That if they post every day at 5 a.m. or 5 p.m., they're gonna, I can get that in my mind, like, oh, I need to go look, because YouTube's not the greatest lately at giving us notices and alerts that when somebody puts out new content. I get told, people all the time tell me that they didn't see the notification that my content got placed. At any rate, so there's a lot of information scattered all about. It's kind of like just train of thought thinking. But the first day, I made over $2 on YouTube. I don't have to go into details about how many videos I posted, but it was definitely, I never really have more than one video. Well, I have more than one video, if not a short or a live or a regular video. I try to mix it up all the time as best I can, because I recognize that for me to make that couple dollars and consider that victory, that I need to do more. And it's something like quantity over quality. That's a debate and discussion that we can all get into. For me, I think that you can put out every day. You can put out different types of content every week and still have some quality that you are proud of. I believe that that's possible. And for me, I believe that I'm doing good work and I'm doing good content and I enjoy it. And that high that I get from putting out a piece of content every day or new content every week, that I share that with the audience, I share that with people. There's always the potential. Every hour, every night when I go to bed, I wake up the next day, I'm like, what happened? What's happened? I gotta look just like everybody else. I'm on that phone. It's bad habits. Theirs are bad habits to be so invested and crazy about that. But I hope that feeling really never goes away, that excitement, that, how many, did I get any new subscribers? Because that's still, even though you may achieve monetization, you still are excited about every single subscriber, about every single view and every single comment. I hope I never get to that point, no matter where I go on YouTube journey, where I'm not excited about that, where I'm not responding and commenting to every single person and connecting with every single person, even if it's that same person every video. I don't care. I'm going to still connect with them and respond to their responding to me. Give as good as you get, right? But you make that couple dollars that first day, because you really have no idea. You can think and research and plan, but you never know what's going to happen. You can only put it out there. You can only reach that point where that's finally a viability for you, that you're a monetized YouTuber. So you can only get to that point, and you can only put the content out there like normal and let it do what it's going to do. Let that community who supports you, let that video, that content speak for itself. Let it, achieve whatever it's going to achieve. So first day you get $2. The next day you might only get 96 cents, and you're like, what's the difference? Why? I mean, one content's more popular than another. That's just the way it is. So that also helps you now as a monetized YouTuber recognize that what is the type of video that people like the most, it seems. And even a weekend that's helping clarify that a little bit for me. Not that I'm going to drastically change my content or my niche or whatever you want to call it. Not that I'm going to do that at all. I just want to, it helps clarify to me what might be what I enjoy the most doing, and also will get the most response currently, which might not necessarily, it might change and flow and be fluid, just like a lot of things in YouTube and life as well. So I'm always open to change and always open to doing new experiences and new things, and to also learn as I go what works best for me and my channel. So a couple of days, we're doing all right. As a YouTuber, when you get to the monetization level, you realize that there's certain monetary thresholds, certain check marks as a first-time monetized YouTuber that you have to reach. These money thresholds. Like, for example, you have to get to a certain amount of money. You set up your AdSense account. That gets linked, and successfully you get monetized. You're in the partner program. You read all the different things now. Your monetization button on your YouTube studio looks so much different than it used to look. Because, used to you see their subscriber count and your watch hours and all the check marks. Now it's just this long, big list. You see your AdSense account numbered when it's finally all, and anything you might need to attention-wise is they're going to pop up there. That's how they're going to communicate with you about your monetization, and how you can go refer to different Q&As and look up some kind of question you might have about the whole process. But those thresholds have to be achieved to reach certain levels. So right now I'm still, you have the first real threshold is a $10 threshold. When you achieve your first $10, they send you a PIN number to the address that you set up when you did your AdSense account. That PIN number is very important. It might take a couple of weeks for you to get that PIN number, but you need to get that PIN number and you put that PIN in through your AdSense account. That basically verifies your address, that you're a real person, that you have a real address, and they can really reach you at that address. That's important because you have a finite amount of time, and it might be like 8 or 10 weeks for you to have that approval, but you're not going to get paid at all until you get that PIN number and you get that verification address approval thing. So that's the first huge threshold. And honestly, when you're making, $1 to $2 a day, even on ad revenue, and that's really good for someone starting out at my level, in my opinion, from my experience and research. You learn about something called a CPM, a click per mil. Now CPM is kind of complex and detailed in what it is, but basically the advertisers in YouTube are basically an auctioning block of scrambling over the right to put ads on your videos. So they, when you have a high CPM, say you have a $20 or $25 CPM, that clicks per mil. So basically, if you have 1,000 views on a video, say 1,000 views, and you have a $20 CPM rate, that is what they're paying basically for that advertising right to put their videos, how much you could make per 1,000 views. So if you have 1,000 views and your CPM is $20, then you could potentially make up to $20 for that one video and those particular views. $20, potentially. Now, they've recently, and over the last year, have instituted a more focused, what they call rates per mille, RPM. Now, the CPM is the broader spectrum type of potential for your ads to make money. And YouTube's going to get 45% of that ad revenue. They get 45%, I believe that's the correct amount. But the RPM, the rates per mille, is basically the same, but it's a more refined, focused reality for the YouTuber. A rates per mille may be like, or you might have a $20, and that's pretty good from what I understand. Especially starting out, you might have a higher CPM, because the advertising algorithms and all that entity is trying to figure out your audience, trying to figure out your channel, trying to figure out what works and what your audience is watching. So you may have a little higher CPM at first, and then it starts gradually evening out and finding its middle ground in terms of your viewing audience, how many views you get regularly, as well as what they're watching and what's important. And that has a lot to do somewhat of your niche. So if you're in a particular popular niche that is more focused in terms of the advertiser's desirability, it's like that particular CPM niche, that's a desirable niche for that particular advertiser, then you might have a higher CPM. Whereas if you have a more specialized, focused audience for a niche, then your CPM might be a little different. But your RPM is going to be more realistic as a YouTuber to see what you might make per 1,000 views. So you might have a $20 CPM, but a $4 or $5 RPM. And the RPM really includes also, as I understand it, any super chats and membership that you can do, membership stuff too. I don't think I really want to do the membership thing. The membership thing really is like, you can pay so much a month to be part of my family, and that you can have exclusive perks and content as that. And if you're a large YouTuber with a huge audience of potential, like Badlands Chugs, for example, I'm sure he makes pretty good money for a membership, because he might do exclusive content for his members, exclusive perks for his members. And I would love to do that too, but I just don't think I'm there yet. No, that'll be a while. But you can do the super chats and live streams and then premieres, and that all calculates in your RPM into a realistic viewpoint. So like if you have a $4 RPM and you have 1,000 views on a video, that's more likely what you're going to get when all of the calculations are. And YouTube likes to say it's estimated revenue, because they won't pay you until after a month. So you have to bank some money after a month. So like a month, and then a week into the next month is when they're going to pay you for that prior month, which is realistic. I understand that. So I have no idea, but you actually, the important threshold to note is that you have to bank $100 in your AdSense account, in any threshold. You have to reach $100 to be able to get a payout. So you're not going to make $30 that first month and they're going to pay you next month $30. No, you've got to have $100 before they'll even pay you, have a payout every month. So yeah, so that counts. All the donations and the super chats and all that counts as that. It calculates into that. But YouTube's going to get their cut, obviously. And I'd love to be able to make $100 or more this first month. But the realistic is probably not. That's fine. I'm good with that. I feel like finally I'm achieving, whether it's 50 cents or a couple pennies off a short or whatever it is, it all adds up. Eventually I'll get there to a place where this is actually making a lot of money for me. And whether it's a nickel a day, I don't care. At this point, I'm making something. I'm putting all this energy and passion into this. So I feel like at least I'm doing something, and I'm making something, and I'm seeing some return in that investment I've already invested in for 3 years. So, that CPM, that RPM, that all that stuff, the estimated revenue, because that can be different. They could tell you all this time, I banked $35. This is my $35 for this month. And then by the time they finalize it, it could be $25, because it's estimated. So that's another realism. And this is my experience so far in my first week. I've made $10. So at least I've achieved that goal. I wanted that first week, that first 7 days, to at least reach that $10 threshold to get that pin generated to me. And at some point, the pin will be sent to me, and I'll take care of that, and I'll share that process with y'all too, hopefully. And this video is going to be super long, but I hope it's a lot of information to be shared with y'all, and something that will help y'all and maybe illustrate and illuminate a few things in this journey. So I hope y'all like this content idea about sharing my experience as I come along. I probably won't do week to week like this, just kind of like hitting those high points of things I've learned as we go. And we're waiting for that pin, and you also might have tax. I might have to start when they tell me, the tax information, because that's important too. To try to get all that in order and get past this first month and get everything kind of like smoothed out and even. But like I said, I'd like to be able to just coast and take a break. But now the real work begins. As a monetized YouTuber, you got through your first week, you reached your first threshold of $10 that first month, and now you feel like you're getting somewhere. And maybe it wasn't all that you thought it was, but maybe it was, and you just don't realize it yet. Because, I honestly didn't expect to make that much money a day. $1, it doesn't sound like a lot, man. I could throw that away in 4 quarters, right? But to make any money out of this love of YouTube that I've had, that I've been doing for free anyway, spending my time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears on anyway, and now to see some return whatsoever, whether it's estimated or not, is a great feeling, a great experience. So I look forward to seeing y'all experience those same experiences, guys, and sharing of your same impact that it's had on you. I hope y'all have enjoyed this video. I know it's super long. I hope y'all have a great day, and we'll see you next time on this real YouTuber talk. God bless y'all. Have an awesome, awesome day. If you have any questions or comments, let me know, guys. See you soon.